Hi everyone, it's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. How you doing? Also known as Mags. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. How are you lovely people? How is it going? Let's see who is here. Gozzo was the first one here. Good evening, Gozzo. Good to see you, buddy, as always. Mr. Game Tank, good evening. Great to see you. Phantom says, hey, how you doing? She said she's had a bit of a crap day. So she's looking forward to seeing what games we're going to be talking about. So hopefully we can cheer you up, Phantom. There you go. Kindred says late again. Dude, mate, come on. 9 o'clock. We were live. Where were you? No, joking. You're fine. It's good to see you. Flame, hello. Good to see you as well. Welcome to another week of games and news and things that happened. There you go. Danka, good evening. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Dan's like, woo! And yes, it is the BAFTA Game Awards at the weekend, so no doubt we were talking about that on next week's show. No doubt, as things unveil. Obviously, I can't do this show by myself, as I have to have my co-host who knows the most. It's the one, it's the only. It's Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you.
Good. I'll always endeavour to ask you the question, what have you been playing since we last saw you last week?
A couple of things. I didn't get around to mentioning last week, but I had finished off Stalker 2. So that is
nice. Okay.
Dusted. Yeah, that was all right in the end. I'd say it's still got room for improvement. Probably there's still loads of patches they're working on to fix it up. Last level was a bit of a pain. One of those levels where they just throw loads of enemies at you. And they're sort of enemies are all kitted out in good armour and they're crack shots and they've got weapons that can take you down a couple of hits if you're not careful. So it ended up being a bit of a slog just trying to get through like a particular section of that. But I persevered. I sort of cheesed them a bit, hid in the doorway and just sort of poked my head out occasionally and just messed around with the AI and got past it that way. It worked. So I got to the end and yeah, it was all right. I generally enjoyed the majority of it. But as I say, it's still got bits that need to be fixed. So it probably ended up being a bit like a sort of cyberpunk situation, I'd say, in the end. It'll get to a point, probably like a 2.0, where it's much better than it was at launch.
Yeah, a perfectly decent game. There we go. Anything else you've been playing?
Yeah. Since I've come off that, I'm sort of finishing stuff off that I've brought and then just dropped. Because the problem with some of these big games I've been going through, the time to get through them, you try and play through one, then another one comes out. So it's the new shiny thing and it catches your attention. So whilst there's not a huge amount I'm actually that bothered about at the start of this year coming out, I'm taking the opportunity to go back through some things. So back to Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree.
Okay.
Probably about, I don't know, halfway through the content of that. So I've been carried on that for the last week, just thoroughly exploring the map, trying to find all the hidden areas, the optional bosses and whatnot. So I'm going through that again. It's probably going to take me a few weeks, months to get through, I guess. Depends how much still is for me to find, but I'm taking my time with it and enjoying it.
Sweet. I have been playing, not a fat lot, because I haven't been around much the last week, but it's that thing that, like you said, games that take a long time. I've got this weird backlog now where I've got a lot of games from February to finish because I've got Like a Dragon, Pirate, Yakuza in Hawaii, which I thoroughly enjoyed when we did the stream last week. So I want to finish that. But then I've got Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I also thoroughly enjoyed. And then Avowed's kind of in the middle. And Avowed's probably getting less of the attention, but I'm trying to just hop and do little bits as we go. But yeah, they're perfectly all really good games. And I'm just like, oh, Christ. Yeah.
It's just time to fit them in, isn't it? Because there's going to be more open world stuff coming. I mean, you got Assassin's Creed down in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, God, don't. And then we've got...
Who's got the time for all these things?
I know, and Atomfall the week after that. And, and funny enough, I was spending one day a week. I play for a couple of hours, 2 Point Hospital, because obviously we're going to be talking about the new 2 Point game, which came out today. Because I'm getting ready I'm going to be streaming that next Monday. And I was like, I never did finish 2 Point Hospital. So I've gone back and hitting through the bits, and like I just on a Sunday for like 1 hour, complete one level or whatever, and just doing that as a thing. So that's going to be a continuation. God, whether I ever actually finish it, I have no idea, but we'll see. Anyway, plenty of games. iQuail, good evening. Good to see you. Welcome here. Don't forget to show your appreciation to Dave, as Dan has done. Exclamation Dave in chat. Dan says, I hope that the new game scored more than 2 points. Well, we shall see. We shall see, because we will be talking about that amongst other games. There you go. But let's bring our guest on for this evening. This gentleman was a volunteer at Timeless Gaming Convention. Oh, look. Yes, Timeless merch again. Timeless Gaming Convention last year. And I believe will be on the team again this year if both me and him can put up with not this Dave, but the other Dave. And you may not know that this gentleman also is a I'm gonna use the term professional speedrunner. Hopefully that's the correct term. If not, I'm sure he'll tell me, because I'm shit at doing intros anyway. Speak of the devil, I repute that. Good for you. And he's a Twitch streamer, and you can catch him on most days doing speedruns. The first time I saw him, he was doing a speed run of Resident Evil 8 Village, and I think he managed to complete the game. Again, was it less than an hour? Or just over an hour? Which was insane. I couldn't get my head around that. But please do welcome our guest this evening. He is known on Twitch as the Dandiest Chad, but we also like to call him Sam, because that's his real name. So say hello to Sam. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good evening.
Oh, good. How are you?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
In fact, we give you a shout out, and it does say your last game you were playing was Resident Evil Village.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been playing a hell of a lot of that recently.
What was it? An hour when I watched? Was it, or was it less than
that? So my most recent PB was an hour 27, just over.
Damn.
Yeah.
The whole game.
Quick. Yeah.
It took me
that's
12 hours.
Yeah. Well, it did on my first time as well. In fact, the first time I played it, Dave might remember this. He watched me play it. I got home at like 3:30 in the evening, the day it had come out, and I played it for 12 hours straight. I streamed I finished the whole game in one sitting.
Wow.
I'd forgotten to eat, so I'd pressed. So I'd been so engrossed in this video game. I played for like 12 straight hours, pressed end stream, and I stood up and I went, "Oh my god!" Because of the pain. So but yeah, I love it. It's a good game.
So what other games have you sped run, or what are your crowning achievements, would you say?
Mainly the Resident Evil games. I had a world record in Resident Evil 7 a few years ago when I used to speed run that. Yeah.
Which was, can I ask how long that was for?
That was 1 hour 29, I think, in Resident Evil 7.
See, how long did you hold the record for?
That was must have been a year, I think.
That's good going.
Yeah, pretty good.
Have you ever attempted to beat the person that's now got it, or
tempted, but I've never gone back, just purely because, God, I spent so much time on that game. So that's why I play. Still get the joy of speedrunning Resident Evil by going to these other games, but it gets to a point where you're just slogging at it. And
yeah,
at the time I was doing it, it was lockdown, so I had a little bit more time.
Oh, okay.
I had a little bit more time than I did now, and by a little bit I mean significantly more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say, if you want to check out the Dandiest Chad, you can see all his links here. Dan's posted them. His Twitch channel, which is where you mainly can be found, and then his Twitter, and you've got a YouTube channel. But I think, is that fairly new, the YouTube channel?
Yeah, there's nothing on it. So, yeah. But it's all the same, all the same. Finding the same place everywhere else.
Yeah. Dave, stop fucking around with my stuff. If nobody's noticed, he's just changed it from the Dandiest Chad to the Dandiest Smell.
He's a menace.
He is a menace.
I'm going to stop him.
I'm going to change that back. You do it again, we'll time you out. And he'll lose his... The thing is, I accidentally timed out. There's a true story. I accidentally timed out one of my mods, and it was by accident. Or was it for a joke? It was for a joke, and they actually lost all their mod privileges. So I was like, oh shit, never do that again. But it can be done again, Dave. Just saying, even though he says, I regret nothing. Is there a game? So my next question is going to be, is there a game that's coming out this year that you're like, I want to speed? This is the sort of game I would speed run or attempt to.
That's a really good question. In fact, we're talking about this game today. I'm sure we'll get to it later. I've looked at some of the Monster Hunter games and because it's all Capcom. And so I love everything Capcom does and everything they develop. They're such an incredible, and so I love their game. I love the Monster Hunter games casually, but there's been a bit of a drought of Resident Evil games recently.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Presumably because they're working on this.
Well, yeah, and allegedly we're going to hear something about a Resident Evil 9 maybe at some point this year, but again, that's still all rumors whether we do or not. But it'd be nice.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they've basically released a Resident Evil game every year since Resident Evil began. I think Resident Evil 4, came out in 2023.
Yeah.
And since they haven't announced a new one, I doubt the new one will come out this year, which means it'll be 3 years gap, which is the biggest gap ever in the Resident Evil franchise. So
it would be nice. Would be nice, unless we get a blooming number. Thing is, I don't really want them to remake number 5 because I didn't really like number 5. Sorry.
Yeah. I'd take a Code Veronica remake, but forget 5.
Oh yeah,
I'm a 5 enjoyer.
Okay,
but not for the same reasons I
hated
enjoy.
it with a passion.
Did you play it with a friend?
No, I tried playing it with the AI. Probably with a friend, it would be
play it with a friend. With a friend,
bearable, but
it's not the best Resident Evil game you ever play. But in terms of just like a good fun co-op game, it's up there. Like if you need something, you can just like have a couple of drinks and play something with your friend.
There you go. This is what everyone's saying. It came alive with co-op. It's better with friends. Sam, you and I will play 5.
Developed with that in mind. So if you're playing it single player, stuck with the crap AI, that's just ruins the game for you.
Well, this actually leads into a question that Danka put in the chat, which is really good. It says, "Oh, the question: how do speedruns work when it's co-op is required? Have you ever done that, or have you avoided that?"
Yeah, I have. I did Resident Evil 5 actually, talking about it for a short period of time. There's twice the amount of human error, so it's quite frustrating. It's also not your human error. So if your mate, am I allowed to swear?
Of course you can, yeah.
If my mate cocks up, then you're not only pissed off because the run's gone, but you're also annoyed that it wasn't even your fault. It was completely out of your control. So it's frustrating. You need to find someone that you have faith in your friendship, I think.
Yeah. Or it could break friendships, possibly.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do it with the right person. That's my advice.
Yeah. Dan Game Tank says probably my fave ever Xbox Live experience playing Resident Evil 5. Sam is actually not allowed to swear, the bastard. Bullshit, Dave. Bullshit. I've said a lot harsher things, but there you go. Shall we crack on with the show?
Yeah, let's go for it, man.
Let's do it. Let's see what we've got, because I know someone said, how many games this week? Well, it's our 206th show. And we've got 7 games this week to talk about, including, as we just mentioned, Monster Hunter Wilds. For something a little bit calmer, we got PGA Tour 2K25 and obviously 2 Point Museum. We're also going to be talking about a news story that dropped when we were doing this show last week, which is the whole fact that Warner Brothers shut down 3 of their studios and cancelled the Wonder Woman game. And it was International Pokemon Day last Thursday, so we're going to be talking about that amongst other things. So let's crack on with the show. iQuail saying, okay, Dan says, crack on indeed. I've never gotten into co-op games. Yes and no. Obviously, next week we're going to talk about a big one that's coming out. Literally this week, and it's going to be. I was going to say Splitgate, but that's completely the wrong game, isn't it? What am I talking about? Split Fiction. Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, I was close. It was close. But yeah, because that comes out. The reviews have already been dropping today, but we're not going to talk about it until next week's show because it doesn't actually come out until Thursday. So, we don't want to jump the gun on it. But let's crack on with our first game. And this is a collection of games that came out last Thursday on Switch and PC. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days collection, and I will probably be told that I've actually said that completely wrong. But you know me, I don't give a shit. Here's the trailer. There you go. I've been told to pronounce it is Yi Gai. That you cunt.
That's exactly how they ended it in the anime, as that wasn't it?
Yeah,
At the end.
Just how Konami wanted it. Exactly. So there you go.
On.
The O is pronounced the same as a British person realizing it's raining. Oh, fair enough. So you mean I didn't have to do that 20-second thing? Never mind. Well, you know, I've covered all bases. So, Dave, tell us about this. There's some people in the chat that are like, well up for this. This is great. And some people are like, not my thing. So
I suppose it depends on your nostalgia for it, doesn't it? You know, was this part of your child? Was it not? Wasn't part of mine. Couldn't give two shits about it, really. This is a collection of 14 games that were originally out on handheld systems. So Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Majority of them, I think, are digital collector card games.
Yeah.
A couple in there slightly different. There's one that's like real-time strategy. A couple of others are more based on like board game type mechanics. But you've got a lot of games that just it's the same type of thing. So you'll see it improving as time goes on. Right. A couple of reviews I said, because of that, you might just forget like the first few in like the series and just go straight for the one where all the mechanics are improved. Yeah. So whilst it's a 14-game collection, you might not end up playing all of them because of that. But let's say it is going to depend on your nostalgia. Do you like the series? Did you play these when you were younger? If so, good chance to replay them. I think it said there were like a few there that have been brought to the West for the first time, so they've never come outside Japan. Never been localized before. But these ones have got multiple languages put into them now. A few of the little modern sensibilities. You can save and reload, fast forward. Rewind the gameplay. Little things like that just to help make it easier. Even a few little cheat functions so you can unlock all the cards if you want them. So it's got a few little things like that just to sort of help ease you back into it, I think. Nice. So looks perfectly okay, but
I think it's a collection for the fans, really, isn't it? Is what they're saying.
Definitely.
Danka was saying some of the games are really similar. So really, in reality, there's about 8 games out of that 14.
This is what I was going to say: is how many variations on a card game of Yu-Gi-Oh can you get? Do you know what I mean? Like imagine Hearthstone 14. How would what's the? Especially if they've all come out on the same 3 consoles, they can't come out that far apart from each other. So much variation you get per
release windows.
Yeah.
Dave says there's 103 variations. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Never trust anything that comes out of that man's mouth.
Do you know what? It's sort of one time that he's actually. Oh, Dan says 104. Okay. Now they're having an argument about it. All right, I'll look into it. All right, fair enough. So many variations. Is this something that you'd be interested in, Sam, or is this again like? I mean, Dave and me are like, this ain't our thing. We're not got no interest.
Complete blind spot. I cannot say that I'm. Yeah. I could not tell you anything about Yu-Gi-Oh. Apart from the music was really good.
Yeah, the music was sound.
Yeah.
I banging to that, so that was pretty damn good. Okay, all right. Well, let's see what it is. If you've not seen the show before, we don't actually review the games. What we do is we scour the internet for a ton of reviews and I cram them all together, and it basically works out an average score. Now, you may agree with it, you may not, but for this show, it's a bit of fun, so just take it with a pinch of salt. But if you do guess the score correctly, you will get a shout out. Now, neither Dave or our guest this week knows what the scores are because I've got it on my script. So they can have a guess as well. And again, they will get shout outs if they get it. So we've got a couple of scores in already. Obviously, Danka was saying about the fact that it's really 8 games, not really 14. He says 6.5, says Danka. Gozzo is also going with that sentiment, 6.5. Kindred also agrees with that as well and says 6.5. And think that's probably 6 is a bit too much. So maybe really a 0.5 for that one. Flame is saying a 7.5. Dan says script. Is this scripted? In a way, yeah. So I know what the hell I'm doing, but not for these guys. There you go. Icar says not a clue on this one. A 5.5 maybe. Phantom says a 6.5. LeBrace, hello LeBrace, says I've just tuned in. 6.5. I don't know what I'm voting for. That's fine. We will take it. It's all good. That'd be amazing if you get that right, won't it? It'd be hilarious. Dave Johnson says a 7.5. Folks, get your scores in. Flame says a 7.5 as well. We'll start with Dave. What do you reckon?
I'll try a 7.
7, okay. Sam?
I'm gonna lowball and go for a 6, I think.
Going for a 6, okay. Dave says, Mag, well done. You've managed to source a guest who's fucking shorter than you.
No need for that, Dave, mate.
He's harsh, isn't he?
Came here thinking this was a safe space, and I can't escape Dave.
I mean, I have also secured a guest who literally speaks sense, unlike you.
David Johnson.
Yes, buckets for brains. Anyway, moving on. Oh, actually, before we do that, we've just had a raid. Our community member of the month, it was announced yesterday. Chaotic Neutral, also known as Alexia. Thank you so much for the raid. I believe she's playing the brand new 2 Point Museum, which is perfect because we're going to be talking about that. Thank you so much, Chaotic. Welcome on in, everyone who's coming on the raid. This is Tuesday Night Gaming Chat with myself, Mag, my co-host that knows the most, Dave, and our guest tonight, Sam, a.k.a. the Dandiest Chad, who is a professional speedrunner at games, especially Resident Evil and Capcom games. You pull a face when I say professional, but you are. He held a world record. If that's not professional, I don't know what is. Pocket, hello. How are you doing? So I didn't mean to cough when I announced you, so I just coughed. Oh, yes, I was. You are. You're community member of the month, so you get a shout out every time. So we're giving you a shout out for the raid, but a bit later on, we'll give you another shout out. Garrett says, hey, Dave. Hey, Dandiest. How you both doing? So there you go. We are just talking about a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days Collection, which is 14 games in a nice little neat package. So we're going to go for the score. If you want to have a guess for those who are coming in the raid, just have a guess because you might get it right and you get a shout out in the chat. But this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection, which came out last Thursday on Nintendo Switch and PC. Oh, yo-I-O. Close. I'll go with that. The only thing professional about Sam is his capacity to annoy me. Good. I think that's good. Get your scores in chat because I can tell you that this got, and I've lost the scores now. How unprofessional am I? I can tell you that this, I think someone got this right, but this got a 7 out of 10.
Oh.
Hey.
So a lot of people were very close. They got a 7 out of 10. I'm just having it quick. A lot of people were either side of it. Actually, did anyone actually get 7?
Dave did.
Dave did, yeah. Dave got it right. I'm just looking in chat, though. Sorry, I should have said that. I know Dave got it right, but... Dave Johnson says, I got it right. I doubt you did.
I think he said 7.5 earlier.
He did say 7.5, so he didn't get it right, the lying bastard.
Cheeky sad.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, 7 out of 10. So the only person that got it right is actually... Drawn Unicycle, hello, good evening. He says, I came into my childhood on a Switch card. There you go. Just the Dave. So for those in chat, exclamation Dave, like Kindred is doing right now. Show your appreciation. But Dave, how would you like your shout out? Because for those who don't know, he is not a streamer. So therefore, we have to do his shout outs in a different way.
You can spin around your chair and you could do the UGO. We'd carry the O on. As you're spinning.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like fun. Okay. Here we go. UGO Dave! Ha!
Very nice.
I think that added a new layer of depth to that shout out. I think it's quite nice. Very good. Yes. Sam, I don't represent this man. Probably not. Good evening, Triangle Face. Hello. How was your stream? I know you were playing. Retro Gaming Revival have completely changed their brand, and they, as of yesterday, have a brand new name, which is really exciting for those guys. I know they were doing their Evercade stream today, so I hope that went well, lads. Sorry I couldn't tune in. I loved all these games, well, at least the ones that came out in the States. That fills my heart with joy. Does he really want Mag shouting, "Oh, Dave"? I mean, depends, innit? It's fine. Lots of people are allergic to me. Delayed response, I know. No, that's fine. It's not delayed response. All good, thanks. Yes, they are now the total video gamers. That's mainly because they don't all focus on retro stuff as much. They still focus on retro stuff, but they do a lot of modern stuff. They do some really good shows. Go check them out. Normally on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on YouTube. But they also do other shows as well. Sometimes there's a Monday night show as well. Finished with a bit of Hatfield flair there. Yes, I did. I was thinking of streaming some of the ones I have on the Game Boy Advanced. Ooh. I mean, it's worth it. If you want to give it a try, give it a try, my friend. James Hetfield. I said Hatfield, didn't I? My hat's off to James Hetfield. Anyway, moving on. That's our first game done and dusted. Let's talk about some gaming news. And this was one that did come up while we were doing the show last week. And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how much money had been pumped into the Wonder Woman game. And for them to say, well, we've spent over 100 million on Wonder Woman, but it's still happening. And then last week, literally while we were doing this show, they cancelled it. In fact, they did more than that. Warner Brothers Discovery, I should say. Warner Brother Games basically shut the whole game down and a couple of the studios. The game got absolutely canned after being revealed in 2021. We had no footage, not really anything. We had one game trailer and that was it. And we've not seen anything since. And it's been absolutely ripped apart. So Warner Brothers Discovery, who were the people that were basically dealing with it, basically shut down 3 studios. One was Player First, who are the people behind Multiverses, and we all know how that turned out, which was a massive flop. So they've gone. Monolith Studios, who are the ones behind this Wonder Woman game, which is quite a big thing for them to go. And also Warner Brothers San Diego has been shut down. They have stated, though, that the rest of their divisions that work on the Mortal Kombat games, the Harry Potter games, any DC Universe games, and the Game of Thrones games are safe. So they are keeping those. But it's funny because then you do go, well, yes, DC, Suicide Squad. How did that work out for you as well? Because that was a massive loss for them. So it's interesting. It's nothing to them to cancel and drop it and use as a tax write-off. They did it with 2 films and now concentrate on their main cash cow, a Batman game or a Harry Potter game. Multiverses has been canned already. Wow. Yeah, well, Multiverse is already gone, but basically now the studio that did it, they're not going to give them any new projects. They've just gone, bye-bye. How many jobs could have been saved if they'd put a bullet in the game early doors when it was becoming clear the game wasn't going to work out? I know. So Monolith have lost all that time and work and effort. They did say the contributing factor was it was a project they just couldn't get off the ground because it had been scrapped and started so many times with the Wonder Woman game. But what are our thoughts about this? Because it's funny, Warner Brothers were riding high. And then, obviously, 2 years ago, they had one of the best-selling games of the year, which was Hogwarts Legacy. And then last year, we get the very average or below average Suicide Squad. And then they finally properly released Multiverses, and it doesn't work. And everyone just went, yeah, this is shit, bye. And basically closed it down. What are our thoughts on this, gentlemen?
General mismanagement, by the sound of it, from all those higher up, but they ain't the ones who are going to get punished. I think the person who was in charge has got one of those golden handshakes and got off into the sun after 10 years.
Yeah.
All right for some. Like, you get paid an absolute fortune for ruining all these video games for 10 years. Nice little deal there. But now for everyone else who works at their studios, we're kicking the teeth really, all that time and work you put in. I mean, Player First Games, I think Warner Bros. Had only actually brought the studio 6 months prior to this.
Yeah.
So that's just dreadful for them. They probably thought they were going to get a bit of job security being part of a big publisher. But I think that, it's another one of those big publishers trying to go for the whole
online
the online
model, which doesn't work.
Yeah, I forgot the term I was looking for. But yeah, that sort of model that just doesn't work because the market's too saturated. Everyone's pretty much happy playing the games that they've got already, like Fortnite and other ones like that come out years ago. Yeah. Everyone's still happy with those. So these new ones come out, so they're trying to force in. People have only got so much time. Play all these online games.
Live service
games. Service, that's it.
Yeah, live service games or games as a service.
There's only so much time you've got to play these. You might have 1, maybe 2, You can't keep adding a third or fourth or whatever. You haven't got the time to get through them all because they just want all your time. So I think they try to focus too much on those. And you can see they're taking it out of games like Gotham Knights. Yeah. You look at the menu system and that, all the currencies collecting the game, it was live service. No question about it. And that kind of just weakened it generally as a game, and they took all that stuff out because they couldn't go back to the drawing board and make it a decent game. They had to just take that stuff out, but it kind of still left a little bit of it in there. So it just didn't work. And Multiversus, it had a good start, if you remember, but then they sort of said its initial release was the beta, took it away for a year. It came back, and I think initially
it had a worse launch.
But then I think they made changes to the fighting.
They did
stuff, and it just got worse and worse, and player count just plummeted. And there you go, another live service one for the graveyard.
I never understood why they took it away for a year and a bit. I think that was the biggest downfall.
No, they should have kept it going, milked it for what they could, and then sort of just canned it off before high numbers just tanked. But no, the way they did it, was just waste a ton.
Yeah, Icos says been on a downward slope for a while. Gotham Knights was disappointment. Mortal Kombat 1 DLC has been cancelled after. I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 was okay, but there was a lot of things that pissed people off, and obviously there was that god awful Switch version that they've never been forgiven for.
Yes, that wasn't very good.
There you go. I heard Mags was a DLC character wearing his EGX merch skin, and that killed the game. I mean, it also killed EGX. Oh wait, we didn't need to do that. They did that themselves. Yeah, so it's a funny one. Sam, any thoughts on the whole Warner Brothers situation?
I have lots of thoughts on Warner Brothers as a country, as a company. I think they are serially mismanaged. I mean, you say they've been doing well, but I don't know if they have been. I mean, ever since the pandemic, because they're not just a games company; they're a film. They've been films as well, and ever since the pandemic, they've had Black Adam with The Rock that came out, and that flopped at the box office. They had that film Don't Worry, Darling with Florence Pugh, which flopped at the box office. They had
completely forgot about that. Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. They had The Flash, which bombed at the box office, and that cost like so much money.
I know. Yeah.
And so it's like, especially Canon Monolith, who they'd obviously done the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Such good games.
And they had the Nemesis system, which Warner Brothers have patented now until 2030 something.
Yeah.
And they've canned the studio who are going to use it in this Wonder Woman game. So that's probably not going to see the light of day now for 10 years. And I don't know when it's going to look up for Warner Brothers. It seems like every step of the way they do the wrong thing.
And they seem to be now playing it safe, because when we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, they were stating that they're already working on a new Hogwarts game. And then obviously we won't see another Mortal Kombat for a while, but there's other things. And obviously they are working on a new Batman thing. And it's like, well, they're now just trying to play it safe. But then again, maybe by playing it safe, they might actually... oh, yeah, good point. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for letting me know. I need to change that.
I was wondering if that was just a flex.
No, it was from last night's stream, and I will change that.
I mean, two problems Warners have got now. Yeah. Because they're doubling down like their big franchises. First problem is we'll probably get sick of them, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, eventually everyone just gets a bit fed up of this. And it's taking a lot longer to get these games out, especially these big AAA games. I mean, the Batman game, that's probably like 4 or more years away.
Yeah, we ain't going to see.
They have no problems with development. It's a long time away. I think there's meant to be the director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy this year. Is rumored. Then Hogwarts 2 could be a long way off, and I don't know what else they've got. So I think they're going to have quite a lean slate for the next couple of years, for the sound of it.
Yeah, it's also a thing that people will argue that there's so many of these games already around to play that you don't need another one. But then you watch a game like Marvel Rivals come out, which is bigger than Overwatch now, because it's developed by people who love the source material and who care about the game, and not just an offshoot of Warner Brothers who've been assigned 18 months and some licensed IP to make a game that they don't really want to make.
I will defend Marvel Rivals to the cows come home, because I never thought I would enjoy that game, because I'm not a big Overwatch player or anything. And the amount of times we played it, I've had so much fun with it.
Yeah,
and it's just great fun. They just did it really well, and that's the thing. There's a difference between bringing out a live service game that's very average and then expecting people just to jump on the bandwagon, or
just because it's got
really
Batman in it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ems, good evening. Great to see you, as always. Welcome on in. Obviously, again, as I always state when we talk about these news stories, we are very sorry to hear for the losses of the people that lost their jobs. We never want any ill, even though we're not speaking well of Warner Brothers. We don't want anything bad to happen to those people. We hope that they can find jobs and get into the thing that they do, that they love to do, which is making games. So we wish them all the best. And it's sad to hear that, again, lots of people have lost their jobs because of basically Warner Brothers just being basically shit. So there you go. Let's move on to our next game. Now, something that we were talking about a little bit earlier is the fact, yes, Monster Hunter Wilds came out last Friday. Another big game that everyone is very, very excited for. This came out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. Let's go. And I am warning you, this is quite a long trailer because obviously it's one of those games.
Is that the great season of plenty has arrived, and we can share in it together.
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
It's not much of a lead, but it's the best one we've got. You're gonna sit and cry or get up and help? Yeah, let's do it!
My vote is to save as many lives as possible.
I had no idea just how big the world is. Hunter, what even is that thing? It's not like any Rathalos I've ever seen.
Witness to how its existence unfolds.
There you go. That is Monster Hunter Wilds, which came out on Friday. A couple of people I want to say hello to who's in chat. Big Fuzzy Yak, hello. How are you? Lovely. Great to see you. Gaming Loft as well. Good to see you. Who's playing this very game right now? He's playing this very game right now. Let's be honest. Most of them are minding their own business until you start attacking them. So people say, maybe you are the true monster. Maybe you are the yeah, it is that thing, isn't it? So there you go. Dave, tell us more about the latest Monster Hunter game, please.
Yeah, so this is another big open world game. This one, your character, I think, is part of a hunting party, and you find a boy who's been injured, and you find out he's from a place called the Forbidden Lands, which is an uncharted region of the world that everyone thought was pretty much uninhabited. But you find out there's various legendary creatures there, including something called the White Wraith that was previously thought to be extinct. It's not good excuse to go and make it extinct. Sure it's completely dead and gone. So you're just going to go in there with your team, go and hunt these creatures down, to take all the parts off and to improve your gear, make better weapons, stuff like that. It looks pretty decent for what I've seen graphics wise. I think Capcom have done pretty decent work there, especially on some of the monster designs. There's very cool looking ones there. Some spider, it's very sort of interesting spider type ones there. And apparently there is an arachnophobia mode that you can turn on that makes them just look like blobs apparently. So you can still get past it if you don't like spiders. It's cool they've got that in there. From what I've been reading about it, I think everyone generally seems to agree it's a good game. A lot of reviewers are coming to know that this is probably like the easiest at the campaign. So I think if you're a skilled monster player, sounds like you're going to pretty much breeze through the campaign, not too much bother. But it sounds like Capcom probably trying to make this appeal to more people, because I mean World did really well. It sold millions of copies, so they're going to want to pull more in with this one. So make it a bit easier for newcomers. They can get through it and get to the end game. And I think there's probably more challenge at the end game. And then there's a roadmap and more content to come that'll probably give more challenge.
I think this is the thing. There was a comment of the fact that it is probably one of the easiest campaigns they've done. It's also one of the shortest campaigns they've done, because people were stating, whereas the Monster Hunter World was probably like 40 to 50 hours. This actually only takes 15 hours, which is quite short. But then the end game content is something that, if you're a first time player, you might not do. So you get your 15 hours out of it, you're done. But the hardcore fans will carry on. And as you said, there's content already announced for the spring and summer, etc. So we'll see. So it has kind of, it's been interesting what people have been saying about it. Sam, your thoughts, because obviously you said you're a big Capcom fan, so this must be right up your street then.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, Monster Hunter Worlds was the last one. Yeah. It's just,
Wilds?
Worlds?
No, Wilds is a new one. So.
Worlds was the last one. The new one is Wilds.
Yeah. Bloody hell. I mean, okay, that's my one criticism. Better names, Capcom.
Yeah.
Jesus. But no, it's incredible. I'd never played a Monster Hunter game until Monster Hunter Worlds, and it's just you can lose yourself in it. I'm excited. I haven't had time to have a look at this yet, but I will pick it up 100%. Looks amazing.
Okay. All right. Let's see what people are saying in chat. Lots of people scoring it. So I'm just going to go back up to the top. Big Fuzzy Yak was the first one to score. She reckons a 7.5 for this. Chaotic's like, it's so good. It's got to be an 8 at least. Who else we got? Just scrolling down. LeBraze says an 8. Phantom says, I'm saying an 8.5. And the people I'm in voice chat with say an 8. Danka says it's a no-brainer, a 9. Gozzo says a strong 9. Triangle Face says agreed, 9. One-handed gamer, good evening, buddy. Good to see you. 9 on this one. M says 8.5. Kindred says 8.5. Dave says 7.5. Flame says 7. And I'm going to start with Sam on this one. What do you reckon this got?
I was leaning towards a 9, but I feel like I'm going to go for it. A 9, I think.
Going for a 9. Okay.
I'm going for a 9.
Iquel agrees with you, says the franchise sounds popular, so probably a 9 as well. For those who've just been in ads, welcome back. Good to see you. Dave, what do you reckon, Monster Hunter?
I'm going to try a 9 for this one as well.
Going for a 9 as well. Okay. All right, folks, last chance. Drawn Unicycle says 8.5. This is Monster Hunter Wilds, which came out last Friday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And I can tell you, if there are no more guesses, that there are a number of reviews that did say it deserves a 9 out of 10. However, there are also a lot of people that did not like the fact that this game is a lot shorter and the fact that it's so easier. But despite that, it didn't actually do too much damage to it. And the average worked out at an 8 out of 10.
Respectable.
Which is
still pretty good.
So I think if you're a hardcore fan, you might be a little disappointed because the loot grind's very easy. But if you're new to it, you may think it's a 9 out of 10 game. So I think that I can see where people are coming from that. So anyone who said 8, said Big Fuzzy Yak is like, yay, good. It's not a 9. So, any games ever scored a 10 on here? Yes, they have. They have scored a 10 on here. None this year yet, though. But I've got a funny feeling we might have one next week. Without giving too much away. But it is very rare. Yes, it's very rare. But we have had some. One that springs to mind was Octopath Traveler that we had when we first started out. But was anyone else? Let's see. LeBraze, congratulations. You got it right. Chaotic Neutral got it right. Who is our community member of the month? Well done. Anybody else that said 8? A lot of people going for 9, which I can see why. Or people were close to 8.5. But well done. Yes. Well done, you wonderful people. And as I always say, congratulations for them getting right. And please do give them a follow. They spend the time to come and watch this show every week. So please do give them a follow and go check out their content if they do make content. So there you go. So yeah, an 8 out of 10. I think it was those two. Did I miss anyone? I don't think you did, Dan. I think you got them all. So thank you for doing that. There you go. Co-host Dave always gets a 10 every week. See? Well done. Well done.
Cheers, Dan.
Let's move on to our next news story of the night. Well, this was an interesting one. So recently in a podcast, a Bioware co-founder stated, or basically he called out Microsoft and said that a lot of their advice is just basically bad advice. Oh, this is quite funny because they had a game. Obviously, Bioware are known well for Mass Effect and obviously the Dragon Age games. Weirdly enough, the latest Dragon Age game, which is not even about 4 or 5 months old, came to PS Plus today, which was a bit of a shock for a lot of people. But I know that game got very mixed feelings. It got good reviews, but it got mixed feelings. Some people loved it, some people hated it, so it divided opinion greatly. But the people behind the Dragon Age games and Mass Effect games did have a game that came back way back in 2005 on the original Xbox. And they were told and given advice for the release date that this game, Jude Empire, should be released at a said date and that they shouldn't wait for the release of the Xbox 360, which was literally 5 months away. Or 6 months away, I should say. Now, they felt that because of this advice that they were given by Microsoft, that this game became a bit of a failure because it didn't get onto Xbox 360 and it didn't become a success like the Dragon Age games or other Bioware games, Mass Effect games, etc. And they basically turned around and basically said, if we hadn't listened to their advice and released it on 360, we think it would have done far, far better. But the question is, does anyone actually remember that game? Because I don't. And secondly, do we actually think that that would have been the case by them putting it on another platform? Because if it didn't perform well on the old Xbox, who's to say that it would have performed well on a new Xbox?
I do remember the game. I can't remember if I played a demo of it or just the beginning of the full game because it's so long ago. But I did briefly try it, but I never got very far in it. It was, seen a perfectly fine game, another decent Bioware RPG. But I suppose it's just going to know how it would have performed. I mean, coming out towards the end of a console generation, it could get lost in amongst all the other games that are there already for the platform. Whereas if it's coming out, as a launch game, there's only so many launch games, so it could have had a few more eyes on it. But how much that would have, moved the needle on sales, I don't think we could ever say because it's, it perhaps wasn't something that everyone would have gone for. I mean, I think prior to that, they'd done, say, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
Star Wars, big brand, big franchise. A lot of people recognised the name. Whereas like Jade Empire, if it had been a launch of that, there might be a lot of people who would have still overlooked it just because the title wouldn't have meant anything to them. Screenshots might not have really appealed to them. I can't remember what else was launched. There's probably some other stuff people would have gone for instead.
I mean, the funny thing is, review-wise, if you go onto Metacritic, it averages out that the user score was about an 8 and the actual critic score was a 9 out of 10. So it got good reviews.
I mean, Bioware did make good stuff back then.
Yeah, it did.
They've been a bit hit and miss in recent years, but back then they made some really good stuff. But
Yeah.
it's always tricky, especially if you're like a new franchise, trying to get people's eyes on it properly. But I mean, as I say, probably been a launch title, more people might have taken notice of it. Where they would have really changed the sales, who honestly knows?
Yeah. Here you go. John News says, I think it would have been different only because the 360 far exceeded the sales of the OG due to the PS3 blunders. And he says, also, that game is awesome. I do own a copy of it. So there you go. Sam, your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of this game. I've never seen that. I've just looked it up, same as you on Metacritic. I've never seen the poster. I've never heard anyone speak about it.
Yeah.
It's very possible that that the Xbox 360 they released this game on the original Xbox. The Xbox 360 came out, and because Jade Empire didn't perform particularly well, once the Xbox 360 came out and blitzed sales, they almost found an excuse for the bad sales of their video game. Oh, if we just put it on the Xbox 360, we'd all be millionaires.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they were hoping to turn it into another franchise, and it never got off the ground. John Newsog says people were way more excited for the 360 when they the OG because the PS2 was just that awesome. PS3 was crap and expensive on launch, so Microsoft took advantage. Very true. Dave said, I absolutely love Jade. I know there's probably people that did love that game, but it just didn't do well. But they wanted to blame it. But it's weird that they're making a comment about it now. That game came out in April of 2005. I was like, that's 20 years ago.
And they're a very successful company now.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, why are you fucking moaning about it? Get over yourself. There you go. Anyway, moving on to our next game. Something a little bit easier for us. Instead of running around the desert or in a forest, killing monsters, how about spoiling a nice walk, as Ernest Hemingway once said? Let's have a look at a trailer for our next game. This came out on Friday as well on Xbox Series X, SPC, and PS5. And this is one of those obligatory sports games that you have, but this is PGA Tour 2K25. There you go, folks. That is PGA Tour 2K25, which comes swinging onto PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. There you go. So, Dave, a golf game.
Yeah, it's golf. What more do you need to say?
Nice. Right, let's get to the scores. Tell it for people who may actually want to play, because some people do want to play these games. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, it's one of the the franchise titles. It's not a yearly title. This one, I think the last one was 2K23, so it has had a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
But as with all these types of games, it is just iterative, really. A few minor improvements here and there. They've improved the graphics. They've added more courses. I think for the first time in the 2K series, they've got the PGA Championship, US Open, and the Open Championship. So they're in there for first time. Number of courses you can play. You can design your own character. I think there are some microtransactions in this, but only for like cosmetic items. You don't have to get into that if you don't want to. You can just buy the game and just play it without worrying about that. But it's there for anybody who wants to throw some money away at it. And you can play it on your own, or get a couple of mates in, play a match. Which I guess that'd probably be quite good fun. But it's this sort of game where I can't say I'd rush out and spend like 70 quid on it at launch.
No,
not the sort of thing I'd look to spend that amount of money on. So it was something, if I was going to play it, it would be further down the line when there's like a decent sale on it. It's a bit lower in price.
Wasn't there a special £109 edition as well? that came
Like
out.
most of these, AAA games, there's always like a deluxe or a gold or a whatever. They always come up with some stupid name and just throw some tat in, don't they? Try and tempt you. It's usually like 3 or 5 days early access, isn't it? Like,
It was early access.
some such shit like that.
Yeah, didn't even get a golf ball. I mean, that's shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. There's a couple of comments I'm going to put. It will be on Game Pass or EA. Yeah, it's bound to be on Game Pass. That'll happen, or PS Plus. Normally, the 2K games get on PS Plus first. Interestingly, whereas the EA games are normally more Xbox. But yeah, let's have a look. There's a couple of things I wanted to bring up. I found this really interesting. I didn't know this. Did you know golf insurance exists? Says Big Fuzzy. I did not know that. Is that in case like you smash something or while you're playing or do damage to someone? That's insane.
What are you insuring?
Yeah. Can you tell us more? I'm actually genuinely intrigued by that. I like that. Speaking of TAT, purchase your timeless VIP tickets now. We'll talk about that TAT later on. Don't you worry. Golf is not my kind of sport. It's about one step up from snooker. Yeah. You hit someone on the head. Oh, it's if you hit somebody on the head. Oh, wow. So you can't be prosecuted. Damn. I bet Hitman Agent 47 uses that all the time then. He kills them with a golf ball and he gets them free.
Got golf insurance, mate.
So if you hit something and break it or a person, you are liable. Oh, my God. I'm guessing in case of damage. Yeah, I did not know that. Or your balls. Well, depends if you get hit in the balls by a ball, doesn't it? That's something else. That's protection for something else. Sam, thoughts on golf games? I know.
I mean, it looked fun. I'm not gonna try and proclaim myself as an expert on golf, but the 2K, it's 2K and EA, isn't it, that hold a monopoly of all these sports games, and every year they come out, the critics seem to love them, and the actual people who play them every year hate them more and more. Like FIFA came out in September, and the critics rated it like reasonably highly, and then the actual sports fans got the game and they went, "Oh my God, this is actually terrible." Yeah, and it seems to be like every single sports game's just on a downward slope. So I mean, I must ask actually, is the reviews that you cultivate, are they critics or audience or both?
It's kind of both sometimes. Sometimes I only get critic scores because we don't get everything in time. And sometimes we do get a game that we want to talk about on the show and it takes so long to get the reviews, we get a mishmash of both. So we've had some games that we should have reviewed 2 weeks ago, but we're like, well, it's still that month, so we'll do it. So it can be a bit of everything depending on how many reviews I've got access to. So, because I think on this show, FC25 got a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I know the review scores were a lot higher.
I looked on Metacritic actually. The FC25 76 critic score and 2.7 audience score, which tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it does. There you go. Kindred says I prefer golf with friends. Far better game. Insurance won't stop you from being prosecuted for something, just protect you from the cost of a civil lawsuit. Damn it! It means I can't kill people on a golf course anymore. Then. I mean, ever consider killing?
As long as you don't get caught.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, that's true. So let's get some scores. Also, I love the Big Fuzzy Yak said, "Can you find your balls, chat?" I lost mine many years ago. Possibly my soon-to-be ex-wife. Let's move on. It's good thing you don't watch this show anymore. I'll get fucking crucified for that. Let's see. Big Fuzzy Yak says this is an 8.5. One-handed gamer says, currently playing this one, I will say it's better than the last one, but gets a 7. By no means, it is an albatross, but could be an eagle. 8 out of 10. Gozzo says an 8. Scrolling down. Let's see what else people have said. 7, says Labreeze. I mean, it's a golf game. Can't argue. FC25 is dire. Quickest I've ever dropped a game. I'm so happy that we announced that for Timeless 2025 because everyone kept asking for a FC game. And we fucking picked that one. Never mind. Kindred says a 7.5. Flame says an 8. Triangle Face says an 8. Mag mentions ex-wife. Take a shot. Yeah. EGX, ex-wife. Take a shot. Yeah, don't worry about me. Got my hotel switched. Yay! Good. I'm glad everyone did. Do you know what? Everyone that did book hotel, when we told them not to book an hotel, just saying, because there was a lot of you. Thank Christ, all of you have managed to switch your hotels. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Apparently, technically, you can kill a Welshman by shooting him in the eye with an arrow at midnight, and it's legal. I wouldn't try it personally. I mean, my luck with my aim in the dark probably wouldn't hit him in the eye. Because the yak says, tell me not to do something, and it probably means that I'll do it. I did try, Big Fuzzy Yak. In Chester specifically. Okay. Still need to book hotels. Don't worry. We'll talk about it. Anyway, go off the subject. Dave, we'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon this?
I'll go for 7.
7. Cool. Sam?
I think I'm going to go for 6.5.
6.5. Okay. Big Fuzzy Yak says, I want to support you. Now I'm not going to buy a ticket. God damn it. I will make Panda buy it. That's even better. Yeah, make him buy it. Make your other half buy it. That's better. Love that. iQuail says a 7. Dave? What did you say again? Because I've got distracted by Big Fuzzy Yak's joke. Sorry.
What did I say? It was a 7.
7. Right. Dave Johnson coming with a 6.5. Last chance, folks. Get your scores in for PGA Tour 2K25, which came out on Friday on Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5. Oh, bless up. Set up come outside in tents. Well, please do make sure you set up outside the new venue, not the old venue, because they'll just look at you weird. And it won't be open, the old venue. So that'll be weird. You could just be sat on a car park. There you go. Okay, folks, that's it. I'm just going to go because this thing, we're going off on one. I can tell you the old venue getting shut down. No, God, no. I hope not. We love Arcade Club. We hope it don't get shut down. I hope not. Oh, dear. God, no, it's not. I can tell you that this got a very reputable 8 out of 10.
Jesus.
There you go. 8 out of 10. They actually said it's one of the best ones so far. So we'll have to see. They are closing to go to... No! Oh, they're closing to come... I doubt that Arcade Club would come to Timeless. Let's just leave that right there. But they're not normally open on a Wednesday. So that's why they wouldn't be there anyway. They all get a day off now. Anyway, moving on. Ooh, exactly. Fair. Yes. Danka, congratulations. You got it right. I've so lost the plot with this one. I don't know whether it's just because it's golf. Okay. Triangle Face, congratulations. You got it right. Gozzo, well done. Well done. Flame, well done. You said an 8 as well. The shout outs are going out now. Please do give them a shout out. How does it feel to be me? What, me right now? Oh, or Danka, because he got it right. I don't know. How does it feel to be me? No idea. I don't know what being me's like. So hopefully if you're talking about Danka, he can probably answer that question. Me, I haven't got a clue what's going on up here. Let's move on to some more news. Pokemon fans, rejoice. Last Thursday was International Pokemon Day. And we did hear some people were very happy about it. And some people were a bit like, oh, a bit disappointing, weren't it? There was many announcements, but just for those, gotta catch them all. Indeed. Just like Timeless tickets. I don't know why that could be a new catchphrase. Won't get sued by Nintendo whatsoever. There was a couple of free big announcements because it was 3 decades of Pokemon that they were celebrating. And obviously the biggest thing, which we talked about, which did feature in our top 50 games to look out for in 2025, was we got more details on Pokemon Legends Z to A, because that's the correct way of saying it, I've been told. 3 decades of Pokemon. And we are now, rather than having just a release date of 2025, we are told we are getting it in late 2025. So it could coincide that we are getting a Switch release and a Switch 2 release, or it might just be a Switch 2 release. They've not actually said that. And we'll find more about that probably in April when we get the big Switch 2 announcement. But they revealed some more gameplay. And they revealed that obviously that it's taking place in the same city as the X to Y Pokemon game. there's a new battle system as well, which is interesting. It is not turn-based. You can actually run around and move. You don't have to wait for your turn, but then your Pokemon will only attack when you command them to. So they've kind of done the reverse of what the Yakuza games did. Yakuza was like straight on ball battles, and now it's gone turn-based, and they've gone the other way around, which is interesting. They have stated there is no new Pokemon coming to the game, but there will be variations of well-known Pokemon in this game. So that was the big thing with that. They've also stated that Pokemon Champions is a game that's being developed. It's in development, and it will be coming to whichever Switch and mobile phones, both Apple and Android. And that is pretty much your standard turn-based combat game, but it's another sort of smaller version of the game. So for hardcore Pokemon fans, you'll be able to play it on your mobile phone. And then obviously they announced the triumphant booster pack for the TCG Pocket version, and obviously also the mobile version of the game. But for your proper trading cards people, they're adding some new booster packs and stuff for the people who like to actually play the real life version of Pokemon. And those were pretty much the three main announcements. But some people were saying, oh, I was expecting more, and a little bit disappointed. But the fact that we are getting a new Pokemon game this year and they unveil more stuff with it seems pretty exciting for the Pokemon fans. But I'd like to know what chat thinks. So did Sophie Pokemon? Don't know. She's not here to answer that. So we'll have to see. Searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand. 3 decades. I'm old. Pika Pika. I wouldn't worry about it. Nintendo can't come across as too legit. Oh, God. When I was in 5th grade, you had to choose Pokemon and Zelda. That was a choice. Really? Was that the thing? Zelda. If you are a boomer... Wow, yeah. If you are a boomer like me, only first-gen Pokemon are the real Pokemon. So, Dave, I take it you're not a massive Pokemon fan, but I guess...
No, I'm not remotely bothered about the announcements. The wife and daughter will look forward to, was it Z2A?
Yes.
They'll get that and play that. Hopefully it'll be good. I hope that they've been given enough time to actually improve performance and the graphics, because the last one really wasn't very good on the Switch, was it? It looked a bit crappy.
Yeah.
Poorly.
Was that Arceus? I can't remember now.
No, I'm thinking of was it Scarlet and Violet?
Yes, Scarlet and Violet. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Arceus kind of came out after that.
Yeah, I'd say that actually looked better visually. Yeah, it still wasn't that great, but it looked better visually than Scarlet and Violet.
But yeah, Scarlet and Violet
did
tank hard and was buggy as hell. It wasn't great. So hopefully this will be an improvement. And it would probably make sense if they do put it on both Switches, because it'll probably sell an absolute shit ton. Kindred says, I've tried to get into Pokemon so many times, but just can't get into it. Same here. I can't get it. Sam, Pokemon, yay or nay?
I'm in the same boat as all of you. I love the idea. My brother loves Pokemon, so I grew up with it. But it's never appealed to me. I think it's an interesting choice. You mentioned that they're changing the combat.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me, because I feel like when you think turn-based combat, you think Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah.
They've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah,
seems like a weird thing to ditch because it's working. I mean, yeah, as like Dave said, maybe before you change the combat, maybe optimize your game first. Yeah.
Or maybe they've done it this way, so it does optimize it. Maybe, I don't know. But I would have thought it would have put more pressure on the game. Yeah. Arceus was the first Legends game. It came out between Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. That's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you, iQuail. We talk about so many games I can never remember. Kindred says, I play CCGs like Magic and stuff like that, but no Pokemon. That's enough. Maybe they're changing it to emulate Pokemon Go. That's less turn-based. Fair shout. And that's still very popular, Pokemon Go. So there you go. Anyway, for those who are excited for everything that was announced, that's cool. I hope you had a great International Pokemon Day. And for the rest of us, it was just a normal day. It was a Thursday. There you go. Let's move along to our next game. This also came out on Friday for Switch and PC. And this is Omega 6, the Triangle Stars. Let's have a look at the trailer for this one.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
There you go. That was short and sweet, just like me. Dave, tell us more about this because we've gone from talking about turn-based combat games, and here we are. It's almost like I wrote this script for the whole show perfectly.
Yeah, it's just like a new sort of visual novel, sort of point-and-click type game. It's based on an old manga series, for the sounds of it. Looks okay. So it's going for a bit of this sort of old 16-bit nostalgia with its graphics. It's I think in this one it's a case of Earth is a bit in the full size. You're controlling 2 androids who've been sent out on a mission to try and find a new home for humanity, so they can spread out. And you're eventually going to take you across 3 different planets in the solar system. And yeah, they've got to find a new place for us to live. Looks okay, but I suppose it depends whether you like the visual novel type of game.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't. So not one for me. But if I
I
was
like
more
the
familiar with the manga, maybe I'd be more interested.
Yeah.
But
I like the look of it, but I wouldn't play it. That's what I'm going to say on that one. Sam?
My thoughts exactly. I thought it looked really cool. I thought the music was great, but I don't think I'd ever go out of my way to play that.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is going to be quite easy. Folks, get your scores in. This is Omega 6, The Triangle Stars, which came out last Friday on Switch and PC. We've already got 1 score already in. Big Fuzzy Hat says this is a 6.5. Kindred reckons this is going to be a 6. Flame says a 7. Sam, we'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to go for a 6. A 6 is a nice safe score.
Okay, 6. Go for a safe. LeBray says the same thing. A 6 as well. Dave, what say you?
I'll try a 7.
Going for a 7. Okay. Any more, folks? Any more scores? Get them in. As I say, this is Omega 6, The Triangle Stars, which came out last Friday on Switch and PC. I've noticed we have got ads, so I'm going to wait a minute just because I know some people see. I knew this had happened because scores are coming. Gozzo, cool, good man, we got you. Gozzo does for a 7. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to crack a drink open while we wait because we've got 59 seconds to wait while there's adverts. But yeah, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Oh, bloody Coca-Cola. Could go for one of them right now.
Other drinks are available, folks. There you go. It would be nice to be endorsed by that, but never mind. iQuail, I give it an Omega 6 out of 10. Very nice. I saw what you did there. 35 seconds to go for ads. I'm now going to try and belch. It's really bad. I drank that way too quick. So there you go. Interesting fact right there. I nearly had a bit of wind. There you go. I'm just seeing what someone's interested. Oh, that's cool. Exciting news. And 15 seconds. And for those who are interested, we will be talking about a little bit about Timeless, but it is going to be literally a little bit. As well, I'm just waiting for these ads to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Welcome back for your ads. And I can tell you that this game, true professional, look at that. I can tell you this game got a little bit higher than most people were expected, but a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Seamless. Thank you, Dan. So well done, Gozzo. Well done, Flame, for getting that right. You get some shout outs. Congratulations. But yeah, seemed to get reviewed very, very well. So shout outs are going in the chat. And then exclamation Dave, already beating me to it. There you go. Dave, how would you like your shout out? Actually, I'll leave the 7 on the screen while we.
You can do your walk on from the side of the screen if you like.
Right. Do you want me or mini version of me?
Let's go with the mini version of you.
Okay, mini version of me. Okay. Believe it or not, there is actually a smaller version of me. iQual says, I'm having a shocker of a night guessing the scores. Dan missed out on the score. He did, but he weren't here. So, you know, if you ain't here, you got to be in it to win it. Exactly. So never mind. So I think Gozzo, you're 1 up on him now because of that. So there you go. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Dave!
Very good.
Thank you. There you go. Well done, everyone, for getting that right. Folks, you may have noticed on Friday we did a thing. Yeah, I would have got it wrong regardless. He was going to go for a 7.5. Oh, well, there you go. At least you're honest, Danker. Thank you. Look at the mags. Yeah, look at the mags. Look at him. It's better looking than the real one, isn't he? Look at that.
Definitely.
Bob Ross on crack, that is. Beautiful. We announced something on Friday. You may have noticed. You may have not. Apparently, it's something that we've done for the last 4 years. And crazily, we decided to do it again. So, yeah, here's a video for something that's called Timeless. Hopefully this explains it. Hi, I'm Middle Aged Gamer Guy, and I'm very excited to announce that Timeless 2025 is coming to Liverpool here at the Cairns Brewery. Yes, there you go, folks. Timeless 2025 has been announced. Tickets went on sale last Friday, and obviously we did a big announcement stream with Jesse and Dave. Thank you to everyone who's bought tickets so far. The response has been phenomenal. And as we stated, we've actually sold the amount of tickets that we did the first year, literally in the first 12 hours, which is insane. So we've doing very, very well. We've obviously announced a number of things. What Culture are there? Ash Millman, Ashens, Slopes, Did You Know Gaming. We announced a load of competitions from Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Astrobot, obviously Just Dance, the cosplay competition, Crazy Taxi, Rampage, amongst other things, as well as a load of Super Mario 3 competition as well. But more to be announced. And we have 4 more things to announce on the main stage, as well as all our exhibitors and indie games. It's going to be our biggest one yet with our 1,000 capacity. Yes, we put the capacity up to 1,000 people, which is going to be brilliant. So get your tickets now. !Timeless in the chat. All the information's on the brand new website, courtesy of Jesse. And hello, Big Jesse. Good evening. Perfect timing. Great to see you. Get your tickets now because it is selling fast. And I'm not just saying that for the sake of it. It is fucking selling fast. It does scare me a little bit of how quickly this is selling. So, yes, there you go. Buy tickets and all that shit. There you go. Let's move on to our next game this evening. This came out yesterday. It's rare that we get games that come out on a Monday, but it's nice when they do. This is out on PC, and you can check out the trailer for this right now because this is Scarlett Hollow. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There you go, folks. That is Scarlett Hollow, which came out yesterday on PC. Dave, do tell us more.
Yes, this is another sort of narrative adventure game with, I think, some light RPG elements. As you can see in the trailer, you could pick like a couple of traits for your characters to run with for the game. And I think they can like affect things like the way characters react to you, the way your character will react to certain situations. So it's got a little bit of a replayability there if you want to start again, pick different traits. But the general sort of storyline for this game is your character has gone to the town of Scarlett Hollow with your cousin. You've gone to the funeral of your aunt who's passed away, and while you're in that town, there's lots of strange stuff going on, lots of weirdness. There seems to be some sort of strange creature sort of stalking you, other oddities going on. So your character gets involved in the mysteries of the town.
Yeah,
and I believe this is actually an early access title. I looked at the Steam page earlier, and it's meant to be spread over, I think, 7 episodes, 4 of which are out now. There's a demo of the first episode that you can play, and I think your progress on that demo will carry over to the full game if you like it. But it's one to bear in mind. It's not a complete game. Yes, you might want to wait for all 7 episodes to be out before you jump into it. Otherwise, you could be waiting around for a little bit for them to appear. But it looks interesting. I quite like certain games like this. This one certainly looks quite intriguing.
Yeah, it looks quite cool. Sam, your thoughts on this one?
I thought that looked really good. I noticed one of the reviews in the trailer. It said Twin Peaks meets Gravity Falls and Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And that's Twin Peaks and Gravity Falls are 2 of my favorite shows ever, and Life is Strange is my favorite video game ever.
Yeah.
So that might be right up my alley.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So we might find a new game for Sam to play, because it's so funny how we have guests on. They went, "Oh, we never heard about this game," and we've ended up buying it because we were on your show. So this might be one. This might be one. Okay, folks, let us know in the chat what you think. First score we've had for this one is an 8.5 from Danka, which I'll pop on the screen there. Kindred saying an 8 right there. Dave, I'll start with you on this one again. What do you reckon?
Okay. I'm going to go for an 8.
Going for an 8 for this one. Flame saying 7.5. Gozzo saying 8.5. Iqual saying a 7.5. So also around about that. So 8 from Dave. Sam, what do you reckon?
I think I'm going to go for 8.5, I think.
8.5. Okay. All right. Iqual saying 7.5. Anyone else, folks? Last chance. Get your scores in. This is Scarlett Hollow, which came out on, yesterday, in fact, on PC. And apparently we'll have a number of episodes that come out at certain dates to continue playing. And if there are no more scores, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you it's got a 9 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
9 out of 10. So it's really, really highly regarded. So do go check it out. It is our highest scoring game of the night so far. How insane is that? So there you go. Nobody got that right. Dan puts his feet up. He doesn't have to do any shout outs. There you go. Well done. 9 out of 10 for that. Let's move on to some more news. Now, a game that we knew that was coming, but we didn't know when. And we had talked about it on this show. That is Inzoi. And if you don't know what Inzoi is, it's basically this crazy Sims-like game that is if GTA met Sims in a respect, because it looks more lifelike than Sims. You can do the usual things. You can have a family. You can go on, make friends. You can go on dates. But they've basically announced that 2 things. If you want to find out more about the game, they are doing a live showcase on the 19th of March. It's coming to PC on early access, and we'll basically be talking about it at the end of this month because it releases in early access on the 28th of March. So they literally announced it 4 weeks before it's coming out. So it was a bit of a surprise thing. Jesse says, socializing and having family. Sounds awful. I agree. Why do that? Stay and play video games. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, again, this is not the sort of thing I would probably play. But it just looks fascinating in that respect. Just like I don't play The Sims much. but I have a very big respect for people who do because of what they do with it and how they do it, if that makes sense. So I'd be interested to see how this competes against such a big name like The Sims. Is it
It will be interesting to see because it hasn't really been a good competitor for The Sims, has there?
No.
There was one game that was coming that then got cancelled.
Yes.
What that was called?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
That was looking quite good, but that just got canned off. So yeah, this I think looks really nice. Graphically, it's absolutely stunning. When you look at it. It'd be interesting to see just how well it actually plays. How other characters interact with each other, what you can do in there. I mean, if you're trying to tempt a lot of the sort of Sims 4 players over, I mean, the Sims 4's been going for decades, hasn't it? Now, it's got so many add-on packs and other things you can do with it. Hopefully, this one won't feel too sort of light on content in comparison, because especially if it's going to early access, it might not have a huge amount there, which might not help it. People might jump onto it, enjoy its looks, but then get bored and go back to The Sims. We'll wait and see. But it's definitely what I'm interested in seeing. I can't say I'd play it. Just interested in learning more about it. I
could quite easily sit and watch people play it, if that makes sense. I know that sounds bizarre. You can see what they do with it, but I don't know whether I would actually try it or not. But we'll have to see. Sam, have you heard about Inzoi? And
the name didn't ring a bell, and I've just Googled it, and I've realised I have seen this, and the first thing that pops into my head is, Christ, they look freaky.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
It's I think one of the appeals of The Sims is it is a bit cartoonish and it's kind of a little bit otherworldly. So you can kind of take yourself out of, the life that you're living and control these cartoon people. And I don't know, I think the concept is interesting. And you're right, Dave, it looks stunning, but it's a little bit uncanny. I would be surprised if this ended up having the appeal of The Sims. I really would.
It'll be interesting to see, and we will no doubt find out more when they reveal all on March the 19th, and the game comes to early access on the 28th of March. Dan says, I was massively into The Sims, and The Sims 2 takes me back. This is like the new evolution of Sims, but it's not a Sims game. Also, Gozzo said, happy Pancake Day, everyone. Yes, happy Pancake Day. I hope everyone had pancakes, assuming you can eat them, because not everyone can, but there you go. Let's move on to our next game. Now, a game that I've been very much looking forward to, which came out today, and we will be streaming next Monday. This came out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and it is the third game in the series. I can't wait to play for the trailer for this one because they're always quite interesting. This is 2 Point Museum.
This is the museum audio guide. Take 103. The world is full of wonder, mystery, and culture. But it's also big, and who has the time, eh? So, here at our museum, we grab that culture by the, foot and bring it right to you. Prehistory. Time before time knew what time it was. Here, we have a primitive computer. So ancient, so rudimentary, we think it could be at least 3 years old. And over to your left, you'll see a child climbing the... Oh my, no, perhaps to the right, where we have... Oh, good heavens! Look up! This can't be good. That's one of our experts returning now with an exciting new exhibit. Oh my, this one appears to be interactive. Those sound like screams of delight from our poltergeists in the ghost exhibit, where everyone is dead. Excited to meet you. Don't be alarmed, madam. I'm completely safe. And this soundproof door gives our experts the total silence they need as they handle this delicate spectral essence. Isn't that right, Steve? And there's also a brand new position open in maintenance. As a museum, tight security is a must. By covertly monitoring all suspected master criminals, we make sure that everything remains as safe as... Hold on a second, you there! Huh? That belongs in a bathroom! And that concludes our tour of our magnificent museum. Tell your friends, bring your family. After all, you can't spell museum without you and me.
There you go, folks. That is 2 Point Museum, the third game in this series. And I am going to state, because people are saying, well, isn't this a bit like Theme Park and Theme Hospital? Well, it is made by some of the same people. Fleabag, good evening. So there are people that worked for Bullfrog, that worked on these games. And then they set up 2 Point Studios, and they released 2 Point Hospital, which is a fantastic game. And then about 2-3 years ago, released 2 Point Campus, which was the second one, which was all about a university. And now we're going to a museum. But what does the museum element entail? Dave, please do tell us.
Yeah. So it's museums this time. So you've got to set up, the best exhibits you can find to get all your guests to come in. Then you just got to make sure that you filter them through to your gift shop at the end where you can sting them for all their cash to then fund your next museum, fund more exhibits. If it takes the same structure as the previous games, then you'll have like the mode where you go to different places. It's like build up a new museum. It's usually got different sort of themes to it. Like you might actually build a museum based on horror, for example, in one place, or one perhaps more sort of prehistoric type stuff in there. But then there's also like a sandbox mode for people who just want to go and like mess around with the stuff without worry about all the different tasks and things that you've got to meet. So you can just play around in that mode if you like. But yeah, it's run a museum this time. So make sure you get the right exhibits. We've also got to keep your staff happy. Make sure you get the right people in there, to keep it running nicely. Keep an eye out for thieves. We're going to come in and nick your stuff. Yeah. So lots of little fun things there. And as it's like in this series, it's going to have all sorts of silly little things here and there, just like keep you amused, lots of silly little exhibits. So I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed 2 Point Hospital. I never got around to 2 Point Campus. Completely missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't. And it came to Game Pass, and I had it on my hard drive. And then 2 years later, it came off Game Pass. I'm like, shit, I never played it. I was gutted.
That's it. Too many games to it all the time. Yeah. This one looks good. I don't think it's particularly expensive either. So it looks like a good one to jump in.
30 quid.
Yeah, which is pretty
about
good.
30 quid, which is really cool. Yeah.
So I like the look of it. If you like management sims, it's definitely a good one to go for.
Yeah. The copy that I have been sent has come with a load of special pre-order stuff. 24 quid on Steam, that's even better. And it's come with a load of Sonic and Sega stuff that I can decorate the museum with. So I can actually set up a Sega museum, which is apparently, there you go, because Chaotic's been playing. Yeah, you get the Sonic stuff, which is amazing. So so I'll be looking forward to getting that. So that's cool. As I say, playing on Monday. Sam, have you played any of the 2 Point games, or is this your first in-depth?
I adore the 2 Point games. I'm actually the opposite of you two in that I have spent significantly more time on 2 Point Campus.
Oh, okay.
That's how I got introduced to the series through that, because you said it came to Game Pass, and I think I must have just been bored, so I just downloaded it because I knew that about Bullfrog and stuff and the reputation that they had. So I spent so much time on that game. Yeah, I would recommend it. Both of you try it, because I tried 2 Point Hospital, but I just thought 2 Point Campus was more. It was just 2 Point Hospital, but more and better. Yeah. So I'm hoping that 2 Point Museum is 2 Point Campus, but more and better.
It's kind of the feelings I'm getting from what people are saying about it. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. You keep pronouncing Sega wrong. It's Sega. I'm not doing that again. We did that earlier. Fucking hell. I can only do so many. But yeah, let's see what people think. Let's see some scores. Let's have a look. Let's go. Starting right. Dave Johnson, 8.5. He was the first one to get the score in for this one. Chaotic, 8.5. She also got a shout out because she was playing this, because she's our community member of the month. Danka, 8.5. Gozzo, 8.5. Everyone's saying 8.5. iQuail, 8.5. Flipping heck. So there you go. Kindred, 8.5. And then we've got some different scores. Flame says 8. Fleabag says 8. Sam, start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm gonna go for a 9, just to be different.
Okay, going for a 9. Dave, what say you?
I think I'll join the 8.5 crowd.
Going for the 8.5 crowd. Okay. The Bray says, I'm back and I have no idea what's happening. 8 out of 10. We are talking about 2 Point Museum. So, folks, last chance. This came out today. And don't forget to catch the stream Monday next week when I play this. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And I can tell you. Oh, LeBraze has changed their score. So an 8.5 then. And that was probably a good thing because a lot of you got this right. And I'm very sorry to Dan Game Tank because an 8.5 out of 10 on average.
Awesome.
Some people did review it as high as a 9, but he got 8.5 as an average. So, yeah, really, really good score. And, yeah, go get it. It's like 30 quid, which is a bargain, considering that you have to pay 70 quid for a golf game.
105.
Yeah, well, yeah, for the special edition. So go check it out. He's like, right, cracks knuckles, off he goes. Dave Johnson's cracking on with it. Dave, we've got to give you another shout out. How are we doing this, good sir?
You can go behind your chair and jump up.
Okay, we'll do that. Don't forget, exclamation Dave in chat. Show your appreciation to Dave and all his knowledge. And the fact he got it right.
One of these shout-outs is going to go wrong one day.
It is. Really, you know, I'm just going to...
We're waiting for it.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll be worth it one day. Dave!
Very nice.
There you go. One day this chair will fall apart as well. There you go. One day I want a compilation of these shout-outs. It might happen. We'll see. But there, congratulations to everyone. We got 8.5. There's all the shout-outs for all our wonderful viewers. We got that right. Our final news story of the day, but certainly not the end of the show. An interesting one. Rockstar. Well, obviously, we're all waiting for GTA 6 to come out. Kindred says I didn't see a size difference with that jump. Funny enough, neither did I, and I was the one jumping. Rockstar has bought a new studio. And the question is, how is this going to affect things for GTA 6, if at all? But that studio that they have bought is a company called Video Games Deluxe, who have now been rebranded as Rockstar Australia. Now, if you don't know who Video Games Deluxe... Oh, we're being raided. And hold on to that for Supernova. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for the raid. Coco Bang. Thank you for the follow. Great to have you here. Welcome. This is Tuesday Night Gaming Chat, where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. Thank you so much. Little Smokestorm, sorry. Thank you so much for the follow. Xenix, thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. Sif Deity, thank you for the follow. Video Game Deluxe sounds like a shop in GTA 6. It does, doesn't it? Osiris, good to see you again. Good to see you. Welcome all in. Welcome. There's a little bit of information about us. We are just talking about the fact that Rockstar have basically bought a new company, and it was called Video Games Deluxe, but they've now rebranded as Rockstar Australia. I was about to say, if you don't know who they are the people responsible for doing the re-release of the classic Rockstar game, detective game LA Noire, which I very much adored and loved. And they were involved, but don't go hard at this yet, because I'll explain. They were involved with GTA, the Definitive Edition, but they weren't the people responsible for releasing it. Okay, they were the people that basically fixed it. So they actually, when it came out and it was in a shit state, they came and fixed it. So they actually done a good job. So they've got a good contract record. But it means Rockstar have now bought them and now own them outright. So now people are going, well, does that mean they're going to add stuff to GTA 6 or what they're going to do, or or is it just going to be, well, no, you can start making some other stuff for us? What do we think this means, if anything, for Rockstar?
I don't know. As you said, they haven't really announced what they're going to do with the studio, but when they do eventually bring GTA 6 online out, they are going to need probably a lot of content for that.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to move over, GTA 5 online at this point has got a shitload of content to it, hasn't it? So They're not going to want the new one to be too light on content for long, I would have thought. So perhaps they will get put to work, building some stuff for that.
Yeah. Sam, your thoughts?
My first thought is that it's entirely possible they could. You mentioned that they were responsible for helping with the definitive edition of GTA series and LA Noire re-release. So they haven't developed anything themselves for the team. So it might be possible that Rockstar just want a team in-house that are capable of, polishing up these old games and putting them back out, because they have got games that need doing like that.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny. iQuell jokes and says maybe they'll port GTA 5 to PS, the next PlayStation. I wouldn't be surprised. I can see that getting a 4th generation.
Well, if it's still massively popular and pulling in like shitloads of money, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, and maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Well, we'll find out, and hopefully GTA 6 will come out this year, as people are expecting, because we're still waiting for that second trailer, which we've not had. So we'll have to see. Our final game for tonight's show. This came out today as well on Nintendo Switch and PC. And this is the rather cool game. Again, I've not played the first one of this one, but this does look really cool. This is called Everhood 2. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There you go. That's the trailer. Zini, first time here, came in from the raid, says, did I drop acid? No, this is a typical Tuesday night show. There you go. Just so you know. Disclaimer, no drugs were taken by developers in the making of this game. Wow! Fleabag, disclaimer, don't do LSD, kids. Okay, so the LSD wasn't worn off yet then. Probably not. But yeah, a lot of people saying this looks like Undertale mixed with a dance game, mixed with like Guitar Hero, mixed with Rock Band, with Scott Pilgrim and numerous other games. So what the hell is this, Dave?
Yeah, it looks like it's a bit of a mix of sort of RPG, sort of roaming like the overworld, but then looks like any fights with enemies and the boss fights, sort of rhythm action, where you're on that on the board. It looks like you need to sort of collect some of the powers so they're coming down the lines and use those to attack the characters that you're fighting. Looks okay. I can't say it really grabs me, but it's definitely going for like a very sort of old school vibe, isn't it, graphics wise?
Yeah.
I guess there probably is an audience for this, as it's number 2 in the series.
Yeah.
And and as we've seen, like Undertale's been mentioned, so perhaps people who enjoyed that game might like this one.
It's an interesting one. It's kind of like, I feel like I would actually enjoy this. It's kind of right up my street. Sam,
Just
your
drop a bit
thoughts?
of acid. It'll be grand.
Yeah. Drop a bit of acid. I'll be fine.
I think it looks great. It doesn't look. I personally don't think it's for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so vibrant. The music is great. And I mean, the resounding, from what I can tell from chat, the resounding notion is that it looks like a drug trip, and they're famously quite nice. So yeah, probably a good time.
Should be good. Obviously, we've mentioned a lot about LSD. Please note, other drugs are available. Just to be fair across the board. Let's see what people are saying. For those who've joined in and come to the raid, if you haven't seen the show, we don't actually review the games, but we try and guess the review scores. So if you want to have a guess, score from 0 to 10. You can have 0.5s or whole numbers. Chuck the scores in. If you get it right, we'll give you a shout out for you. Let's have a look at this one. Danka says 7.5. Feels like a headache crater. 5 says Supernova because watching that made me feel queasy. Oh, sorry, dude. Gozzo says 8.5. Fleabag says 6.5. Dave says I rate the game 7.5 and Sam 10.5 out of 10. I will only take your first answer, Dave.
He knows his stuff.
6.5 says Kindred. 7 says iQuail. Flame says 8. And I will start again with our guest. What do you think this has got?
I'm going to go for an 8. People seem to love these Undertale style games. I think an 8 is. I think people in the chat are under assuming.
Okay, all right. 8 out of 10 for that. Zenix says 6, maybe higher depending on the come down. Yeah, very true. I'm nice, and Maggie's like, nah, not taking that. No, because he's allowed his own opinion, Dave. I'm taking your first score. I'll take your first score, Dave. That's fine. But the rest of it, no. Dave.
I'll go for 7.5.
7.5. Okay. All right, folks, this is your last chance. Get your scores in. This is Everhood 2, which came out today on Switch and PC. And if anyone gets it right, they will get a shout out in chat. And I can tell you that this did indeed get a 7.5 out of 10. So, yeah, well done, Dave. Well done, Dave. See, I can be nice as well. Who else got 7.5? Danka. Well done. Danka got it right as well. So we'll get a shout out for Danka. Again, please do go follow these wonderful people. Dave, how would you like your last shout out of the night?
You can do a bit more spinning on your chair, mate.
Spinning on the chair.
We'll wear it out eventually.
Okay, we'll wear it out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to shout something very special just for this game. Are you ready? 3,
Go for it.
2, 1. I'm tripping balls on LSD! Dave! There you go.
Very good.
There you go. Yeah, nice little shout out there. Congratulations to everyone who got that right. And yes, that is the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our 7 games this week. Obviously, one of the highest rated games tonight was a game called Scarlett Hollow, which came out yesterday on PC. But obviously, Monster Hunter Wilds, 2 Point Museum, and even PGA Tour 2K25 reviewed pretty well. So do go check those games out. And we will have more game reviews and news for you next week, including the review scores for a game that comes out on Thursday, which is very highly anticipated, which is Split Fiction, which everyone's very much looking forward to because that comes out on Thursday. So we'll be talking about that on the show. Also, our guest next week, as I just quickly check the calendar, is Jeff from 8-Bit Magazines. Basically, there's a podcast where you talk about your favourite magazines from your childhood past. I was a guest on his show back in January, and we are returning the favour as he comes on. We'll be talking about his podcast. It's really cool. You talk about the first gaming magazine you ever read, and then we go through it. It's so cool. It brought back memories when I had a copy of Computer and Video Games, which had Road Blasters on the front cover, if you can remember that far back. But there you go. I narrowed it down to a number between 0 and 10. Is that close enough? It's possibly close. Can we get another shout out for our wonderful guest tonight, the Dandiest Chad, also known as Sam?
Thank you.
A round of applause. A round of applause. There you go. All his socials and everything will appear in a second. So please do follow him on his Twitch, which is right there. Also his Twitter. and everything else. Congratulations to everyone who got guesses right and got shout outs tonight as well. Sam, thank you so much for being such a great guest. Not only will you be able to see him speed running more Resident Evil games, but you will get to see him as he is on the volunteer team for Timeless 2025 in Liverpool. Get your tickets now. Plug. Thank you to the wonderful Dave, as always, being my co-host. As the most. Thank you for being the fountain of all knowledge for all things gaming, as always. And big shout out to obviously all our mods and obviously you lot, you wonderful people in chat. Dave says you're sacked. Sam, unfortunately, you're sacked.
Dave says I'm sacked.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just give you a free ticket. You're on the guest list, so there you go.
Can you sack him as well?
I can sack him if you want. Yeah. But there you go. Yes,
Dave
is not a mod because apparently he's sacked. Already got mine and my family tickets. I know. Congratulations. I hate you, Meg. Hate you too, buddy. Mean that from the heart. Here you go. So yes, thank you to all you wonderful people in chat, and thank you to all the people who followed and all the amazing raids. Supernova, you absolute legend. Chaotic Neutral, you absolute beautiful legend. You and our community member of the month. Long drive from Kent, but tempted. Do it. You won't be disappointed. Trust me. I'm not biased because I run the fucking thing. Not biased at all. Just saying. Mag has a heart. No, it died years ago. There's just something.
Just pure darkness there, isn't there?
Pure darkness, yes. Pure darkness and hatred for people. Some people, not all people, but some. I'll let you fill in the blanks there. So there you go, folks. His ex-wife nicked it. Yeah, that's probably true. Bless her. Still going with it, actually. I'll have to ask for it back. Let's go do a raid. Let's see what people are playing. Let's see who's on. And I will, but it's just a Timeless logo in its place, probably. Plenty of filler. Let's press this button. You watch absolutely nothing happens on the stream deck, which is always fun when we do this. Absolutely nothing is happening on the stream deck. It won't work, but still, exclamation sign. It should work. Everyone's allowed to do the thing. It just won't play the music. Oh, there it has worked now. We've got, oh God, there's a lot of people on. So let's just have a, let's go back. So I'll let Sam have a pick here. We have got friend of Timeless, Mr. Odd Trot. We have got Past the Plunger who's doing some retro stuff. We've got Soul Strike who's doing some, I think he's playing some Demon Souls, or not Demon Souls. The other one. It's done 3 games. Can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Dark Souls, that's the one. Or we've got Batch Gaming who's doing some Euro Truck Simulator. Which one would you like?
I do like a bit of Euro Truck Simulator. I've got to be honest, I'm a bit of a Euro Truck fanatic, yeah.
Okay. I will do it. I will press the button. Let's just check. Oh, screen's open up there. Yeah, Batch is playing Euro Truck Simulator 2. In fact, Euro Truck Simulator 2. So there we go. Let's go say hello to Batch. That raid will start when the end credits have rolled. And I'll also drop his link in chat just in case you don't go over with the raid. Again, thank you to all you lot in chat. You have been amazing. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Sam. I am back tomorrow at 8 p.m. because we're kind of doing a double stream. 8 p.m. till 9 is a brand new retro style game that's just come out called Phoenix 2. If you want to check that out, we are promoting that. That game actually comes out on Friday, so I'm playing it 2 days early. They've very kindly given me a copy to play 2 days before it comes out. And then it's community night, as voted by you. Well, we'll be basically voiceovering some really bad B movies in What the Dub. So from me and everyone here, we will see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And hopefully I'll press the right button this time. Here goes. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.